What's going on, guys? Welcome to the video. This is the weekly check-in that I will start posting once a week. I'm gonna ring off 5 questions that I've created, honestly, to be straight up with you guys, using ChatGPT every week, 3 to 5. And if you guys have any good ones that you'd like me to answer, I'll do those as well. But just kind of checking in on myself, where I'm at, and how business is going, and documenting it all in one. So I'm just gonna, like I said, ring off these questions, and yeah, we'll see how it goes. But it's gonna be very unfiltered, one take, not gonna be clipping a bunch of stuff. So this is just a peek into my life and where I'm at. What has this week actually felt like? It says, not what happened, how it felt. Calm, heavy, chaotic, focused, distracted, fast or slow, clear or foggy. It's a good question. I would say, I would say that things, at least in business and real estate, have felt slow. I got a little bit of a boost as of recently because I just signed my best friend DJ's parents as clients for a second time. They're going to be buying an investment property, and so we are on the hunt. We actually found a property that they like and are planning on placing an offer here as soon as we get a pre-approval letter back from the lender. But so that gave me a boost, a good feeling. In real estate, there's ebbs and flows. Certain months you got 4 transactions going, some months you got none. And that's something that I am still, I would say, getting used to. I just wrapped up my first year. I had a good, successful first year in real estate, closed 9 transactions, and yeah, I feel a lot more confident about where I'm at as a realtor now. I'm confident having conversations with anybody versus back a year ago when I started. I was always worried about not having answers to questions that I might receive. So I definitely feel more confident in myself as an agent, and I'm working on building the systems that will allow me to have consistent business throughout the year, not just, like I said, months where I get hot and people in my life are buying houses or selling houses, particularly in a certain month. Last year I had, or let's see, in August or October, I had like 4 closings and a 5th active listing. And so I was super grateful for all the business, but I would prefer to have that spread out over the course of a few months, just so I don't, burn myself out and ultimately get to a point where I'm not enjoying myself, work's not fun, taking too much time away from being able to spend with Grace, family, whatnot, which I also need to do a better job of. I would say I think once I get systems in place in my business, which also include my social media, I'm really, really trying to hit social media heavy. I've some big goals. I want to have 5,000 subscribers by the end of 2026 and 10,000 followers on Instagram. So trying to figure out how I can consistently post content that's valuable and interesting for people to tune into what I'm doing consistently. In the past, I've had spurts where, I'll post 6 videos in 1 week because I had a little burst of creativity, and you kind of get into the flow of things. Anybody who posts content, sometimes you get in a creative flow where things are just clicking, videos are happening easily. You're creating ideas and videos just naturally and not having to think about it or just struggle too much to do so. But got a little off track there. I don't know if there's a word that would describe how this week felt, but I gained a little bit of momentum. Like I said, as an agent, you go through months where you might not have a transaction. You might not, for a few months, you might not have any clients that you're working with, buyers or sellers. And so that was me from like mid-December to mid-January. Got a little momentum because I now have clients that I am hoping to help close on their second transaction with me. And yeah, so if there's one word to describe where I'm at, or not where I'm at, what this last week has felt like, I would say wow, this is actually tough. I don't know if I can answer this straight up. So I'm going to go to number 2 if something pops into my head. Because I'm not going to act like I'm super sophisticated or anything and have these crazy words to describe things. And I don't want to misdescribe it because I just can't think of anything. So what took up most of my time and energy, and was it worth it? Work, people, thinking, planning, avoiding. What mattered more than expected? What didn't deserve as much energy? This last week, I would say time in the office on the computer working on building my systems took a ton of my time. Like I said, content is it's if you've tried doing it, making it, it's pretty challenging to do consistently if you don't have something to fall back on, a system that ensures, okay, this week I know I have 3 topics to film myself talking about. And yeah, that's where I'm struggling, I would say, is content creation and streamlining that process. Also systems within our business, I would say. The Ferris Home Team, if you guys are new to my channel, I work alongside my father Mike and my mother Sam. Big Cat in Sound, we also call him. But we started up last January, and so we had 0 systems in place. That said, it was kind of winging everything. Anytime something was thrown in our face, we had to figure out how to do it. But the most well-oiled machines in the real estate game have, and in general, in any profession really, have systems in place that they can fall back on and that they know operate at a very high level. That's what we're working on. So I've put a ton of time into that and trying to create clarity around content, what I want my brand to be, what I want people to expect to see when they watch my YouTube videos, when they visit my Instagram. And then also clarity around our real estate systems and what their actual intention is and the goal of having them in place is. So I would say systems took a ton of my time last week, and it's worth it because it needs to happen. So yeah, working on building systems around my business, which also includes my social media. What felt harder than it should have or easier than expected? Honestly, to piggyback off what I just mentioned, building systems for my social media and for our real estate business has felt very difficult without someone telling me how something works or what needs to be in place, what's correct, what's incorrect. That has been difficult, and me, Big Cat, and Sam are all trying to figure out those things together. So that's been difficult, easier than expected. I would say my interactions with Derek and Amy, my clients, after having a year of real estate under my belt, 9 transactions, like I think I touched on earlier in the video, it's just been way more fluid. I'm not timid. I know what I'm talking about, and therefore I have more confidence. And that's having real estate conversations and interactions with clients and just people in general has felt a lot more fluid and natural than it has in the past. What did I learn about myself just by living this week? That's interesting. Not lessons, not advice. Patterns you noticed, reactions you didn't expect, things you handled better or worse than before. What did I learn about myself just by living this week? That's a good question. I would say I would say that after football exited my life, I have, except for my freshman and sophomore year, or my sophomore and half of my junior year of college, I think I've kind of struggled with creating habits and maintaining them. I want to do a lot of big things. I want to make a lot of money. I want to help a lot of people in whatever way possible. I want to have a big house. I want to drive a nice truck. I want to have a cabin. I want to be able to travel, to afford to travel. I want to wear nice clothes. I just want a big life, a big life. Yeah, you could say that. I want to have a big life. And so in order to make that happen, I need to do things and have habits of someone who has a big life. I have gone in spurts. My struggle is going in spurts of getting really into something, cold plunging religiously for a few weeks, and then, I won't do it this morning because I'll do it tonight. And then I don't do it that night. And then you're like, well, I'll do it the next morning. Or I do it the next morning, and then the next day I don't do it. And all of a sudden that habit fizzles out. I have struggled, I would say, post-football, post-sophomore and half through junior year of college, maintaining consistency within my habits, especially with good habits. Because habits work for you and against you, and I'm not perfect. I've had bad habits for sure, and I do have bad habits that I need to work on breaking. So I've learned, I would say that I've lost, I'm not going to say the ability to, because I'm not going to continue doing that. I'm going to build myself back up to where I'm implementing and maintaining super high level habits. I've learned that I haven't, over the last 2 or 3 years, consistently implemented good habits and been able to fully break bad habits. I'm also aware that nobody's perfect. I'm going to have fun on the weekends. I'm not going to eat perfect all the time. I'm going to miss things. I'm going to show up late every now and then. Now, obviously, I want to minimize those, but I'm also aware that you can't put everything on being perfect and determine whether you are being successful or moving in the direction you want to move based on being perfect. So, long story short, I'm going to start implementing and consistently executing good habits and eliminating the poor habits within my life. All right. Number 5, what am I carrying into next week and what am I leaving behind? What am I carrying into next week? I would say heading into next week, I am carrying a new approach to my social media strategy. I'm going to cut back a little bit on volume as far as YouTube long form videos go. I'm going to start vlogging more, and I like these one-on-one, unfiltered, one-cut videos. Gives you guys an idea of what I'm actually like and really where I'm at. Feel like I can connect with you guys and hope you guys can connect with me. Maybe you guys are feeling the same way I am about something, and whatever and whatnot. But I would say that, yeah, my social media strategy and approach will be different heading into next week and more structured, calculated, and intentional so that I know by the end of the week I have all the content that I need, and I've posted all the content that I said I was going to post. Let's see. Yeah, that's it. So if you're still watching this video, thanks for tagging along. Like I said, looking to start posting these once a week, I would say. We'll see if that changes. That's the other thing. It's okay for things to change, or to change as you move along. analyzing your situation, analyzing your content, seeing what's working, what's not, and changing it so that you can fine tune your process, your systems, and be more effective, efficient at what you're trying to do. For me, that is help as many people buy and sell real estate, because ultimately people need real estate agents to help them do that. And to post consistently on both Instagram and YouTube to build a brand and hopefully connect with as many people as possible while I do it. So, all right, now the outro. If you guys are at this point in this video, I appreciate you for watching. If you feel like you connected with me on anything, I hope I made you feel a little more peace of mind knowing that you're not the only one feeling that way. And if you like my content, if you like me, like this video, subscribe to my channel, comment, let's connect. I love to meet you, meet new people, and yeah, I guess you'll just be seeing me in the next video. I'll talk to y'all later.